Hey guys, it's still your homeboy by Coco. You know how we do them now. We go in the street, we'll ask several questions. Questions we go change our mindset, questions we go open our eyes to different things we will never know before. Whenever you don't understand, ask on the comment section. We are always there to reply you. Don't go anywhere, it's still your homeboy by Coco. Good afternoon, sir. What are your names?
My name is Samson Ogaga.
Have you ever been in a relationship before?
Yeah.
How was it like? Tell us about your present relationship and your past relationship. How was it like?
Well, relationship is all about the good and bad. But what I can say now is there was nothing too bad. It was okay. It was fine. There were some ups and downs, but we're fine. We're good to go.
Do you think it's necessary to keep a secret in a relationship or marriage?
Okay. When you talk about the word secrets, it's of different dimension. The word secret is a big word, and if you must, it's not a question that we can just answer directly. And by my experience as a preacher, as a young preacher, I've been able to engage young people for the past 6 to 7 years. I can tell you the word secret is of different dimension. Now, there are secrets that should not be kept in relationships and marriages. For example, if you as a girl, if you don't have a womb, before you go into a relationship that will lead to a marriage, it is very necessary you carry the young man along. You tell him, I don't have a womb, this is my past. It's not left for the young man. It's fate to carry him. If he's convinced about you, it's left for him to carry him alongside. There are secrets that should not be left. For example, as a young man, you have a child before now. You can't keep it away from the lady. You must open up and say, sorry dear, I have a child in my past. This is where the child is. So there are secrets that should not be kept secrets that should not be kept away from your partner in a relationship. But there are still some things that they are not really necessary. For example, now we all know that women are emotional beings. Women likes fashion, women likes eldo, like boots eldo, women likes clothes, women like shoe. 95% of women likes shopping, likes going out. So you, as a man that wants to create a generational wealth, you must teach your woman how to spend judiciously. And one of the ways to cut our excesses is to hide some of your financial accounts away from her. Not necessarily because you are hiding it for other purposes that will later hurt her, but because it is for the good and the benefit of the relationship or for the marriage. For example, if you are working and your salary is 250,000 naira, and you know your wife is very extravagant, you don't just come and throw the 250,000 to her that this is what you are earning. No, she will spend the money extravagantly, and at the end of the day, the whole family is bust up. So what do? You can come and say, babe, my salary is 150,000 naira. You throw it to her. She spends the 150,000 naira. But as a man full of wisdom, you know there is 100,000 naira somewhere. In case of emergency, there will always be emergency in relationship. There will always be emergency in marriages. So there are secrets that should not be kept in the dark. But there are some certain things that don't really matter. They are not things you just discuss. There are not things that don't really count. But when it comes to do with destiny, you have a child in your past, you should know.
Okay.
You no longer have a womb, you should know. You have a terminal disease, you should know. There are people with excess genotype, but they kept it away from their partner, and their partner is AS. And by the time they enter this relationship ignorant, at the end of the day, the children are left to suffer. You give birth to children that comes out of the womb as sickle cell anemia. It is wrong. So that if you have a terminal disease, you have an HIV, you have any terminal disease, let them know. Let them have faith. If their faith can carry them, it is more better.
You said something about telling your partner or your spouse about your past.
Yeah.
You know, in courtship or relationship, you know, it's a process. I have to trust a person to tell them how my past is.
Was, yes.
Yeah. How long do you think a person, a man or a woman, should be in a relationship to tell them that grave? Okay, now so they can't use it against them. Okay. You know, I can't just meet a woman and tell him at some certain time I raped a girl.
Yeah.
I have to have this manner of trust for a person to tell them on what I have done in the past. How long should I wait to tell them?
Okay, now that's a very good question. We need to clarify some of these things. Now, you cannot just meet somebody today. That is why I don't believe in love at first sight.
Love at first sight.
You can like somebody, but you can't love somebody at first sight. Because love, the greatest form of love is sacrifice. I can't just see somebody today and sacrifice my life for that person. It doesn't make sense. So I don't believe that there is love at first sight. We have infatuation at first sight.
Yes.
But there is no love at first sight. Now, as you, in my relationship, for example, I cannot just meet a girl today. It's not even possible that I meet a girl today, I start unveiling my family members to you.
Okay.
Even they say, it is possible that you can even stay in a relationship for 2-3 years. So you can even marry a lady for a lifetime. There are some issues in your family that you don't let her know, because it will bring disrespect.
I'm
talking about my personal family. I'm not talking about the relationship.
Okay, yeah.
I'm talking about my personal. Let's say, for example, now in the past, my sister got into an abortion. Maybe God, it does not have a womb. I believe in God. I can't just bring those kind of issues and start telling my partner. It will bring some level of disrespect for my family. So there are some things that no matter the years you have been together, there are some family issues.
That's actually keeping a secret.
No, listen. That is bringing sanity, because not everybody are matured enough. Now I'll come to your question now. When you meet a girl, you don't just start running your mouth. When you meet a man, you don't just start running your mouth. No, you have to study these people for a time. You have to know what they can do. For example, now you tell a girl that you steal now, and the next thing you are hearing to the public, you can't take such a girl tomorrow that you kill. Are you getting me? So you must start trusting them with small information before you release big information. For example, now in ministry, I'm a pastor by calling. There are some certain information that I cannot release to my fiancée. Not because I'm keeping it away as a secret, but because I know she's not mature enough to handle it. Are you getting me now?
Yeah,
she cannot handle that information as at that time. So if you give her that information as at that time, you may end up damaging her.
Yeah.
There are things that appear that looks like a true, but it's not true. Just like telling your problem to someone you know cannot help you. Are you getting me now?
Yeah.
So it has to do with studying the person, understanding the person, know what the person is capable of doing. So you must know somebody's capacity before you release some information out. And many people's capacity is not just one day. You don't just meet a guy today and you start telling the guy everything about your life. No, it's a gradual process. There are things you see a guy today, you let it out. That's why I speak to my generation that the first date should not be about shawarma and ice cream. The first day you hang out with a guy,
it's not about shawarma
and ice cream. The first day you go out with a guy, the first thing you should start discussing is, my genotype is AA. What's your own genotype? Not ice cream and shawarma. Let me say a lot of heartbreak. You have been in a relationship for 1 year. It's now you're not telling the guy that you're AS. And now the guy is AS. No, you're not crying. You're not crying. All those crying.
You choose this for yourself.
You get me? All those crying, these things you can avoid.
Yeah.
So you have spoken earlier.
As a preacher, what would you advise the younger generation to look out for before going into a relationship?
Now,
because the life is actually growing rapidly, and Africa, they are losing their values. We are trying to live like the Western people.
Okay.
And I believe in the next 10 years, there will be a lot of divorced marriages.
Yeah.
Because a lot of us don't even know our partners before we go into a relationship with them. What is that thing you think we should look out for before engaging ourselves?
Now, the biggest problem we're having now in our generation is that people are not close to God anymore. People go to church, but they are not spiritual. They don't have a relationship with the Holy Spirit. The Bible says you can know the heart of a man, but the heart of a man is desperately what? Wicked. Now, it takes God to unveil a man to you. It takes God to unveil a woman to you. That's one. The Bible says in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God. So in the beginning, God started with God. So in every relationship, I'm not saying you must be up there spiritually. You have a pastor, seek a counsel. In Proverbs chapter 10, verse 7, the Bible says, in the multitude of counsel, there is safety. There are counsel that can deliver you from a dangerous relationship. Now, this relationship will keep missing it, and we'll keep having a good number of divorces, because people no longer bring the God factor into it. They no longer consult God before going into anything. You must consult. In Proverbs chapter 3, if you study from verse 5, 6, 7, that will say, in all your ways acknowledge the Lord, and he shall direct your path. It is God to reveal a man. You can't know a man. Are you getting me? The heart of a man is desperately wicked. That's the spiritual angle. Now let's come to our regular, because not everybody is a pastor, not everybody is a Christian, but these people need to marry. So what do you do? Now the problem we're having in this generation now is that people date or marry for the wrong reasons.
Okay.
Are you getting me now? When we remove the God factor, there are people who are not spiritual, who are not Christians in code, but they need to get married. So now that they are not Christians, so what should they look after before they go into a relationship or marriage? You date a guy because you want money. You marry a guy because you want money. Now you have married the guy, you have had access to the entire money. Now you have gotten the money, now you are not happy. Because in the first place, you're not emotionally attached to this guy. But all you feel that you felt everything you needed was money. And when you have had access to this money now, you are not happy. It's not giving you attention. It's not giving you a listening ear. That's one of the biggest problems we have with our celebrities today. That's why they can't stay in marriage. Because they go into relationships for the wrong reasons. Why do relationships fail? Relationships fail because of lack of communication. But I will tell you now that a lot of our girls are not communicating enough. They assume too much. They assume we know. We don't know. Communicate. Say what is your mind. You ask a girl what's the problem, he says nothing. And that is why we are educating the young men now. If a girl tells you nothing, just know that there are many things. Okay. Are you getting me? They don't want to talk. You don't care about the man. You don't meet the needs of the man. Yeah. Let me tell you, no man will slap a woman who is financially assisting him. A lot of young ladies in quote complain of value. Doesn't appreciate me. Value doesn't appreciate me. Value. Let me ask you a question. If you have 3 classmates in a class, and one helps you during exam time, and the other one doesn't help you during exam time, which of them will you value more? So value is on the platform of what you can offer. So if you are not feeling in a relationship, you cannot be valued. See, it happens subconsciously. Some men will say it doesn't matter, I will take care of you. It's a lie. It doesn't matter. It does matter. It happens as a girl. That's why we encourage them. Learn a skill. Make sure there's don't be a liability. Subconsciously, the guy will not value you. Subconsciously, definitely, because you don't have nothing you are bringing to the table. What are you bringing to the table? You getting me? It's not about millions. I'm not saying giving millions, but at least be able to provide. At least, at least come true for me. The same way I am coming true for you. And then it doesn't listen. Yeah, thank you very much. Now. This is the last one before we go. Okay. If you have one thing to change in the world, what would that be, sir? That's a very good question, and I think this is something everybody must actually look into properly. You know, the society is made up of the family. Yeah. The family is what made up the society. An individual, the collection of individuals is what made up the family. And the society is what made up the nation. So if an individual is failing, the family will fail. And if the family fail, the society will fail. And if the society fail, the entire nation crumble. So if I had the opportunity to change anything in this world, is to change my bad character. Because once you fix your bad character, there will be good character in the family. And once there is good virtue in the family, a child that is brought up properly in a good family will not go out there and steal. Yeah. And as long as it's not stealing, the society is not endangered. And when the society is not endangered, the nation is peaceful. So if there is anything I had the opportunity to change, is to change the negative aspect of my life. So much. To the viewers out there, sir, if you have any word to tell them, what would that be? Okay, now to the viewers, in the generation we are in now, a lot of things are happening and things are going bad every day. The truth is this: 1 John chapter 5 verse 19 said, "Your word lies in wickedness." You cannot totally correct the world, but you can correct your own life, your own personal environment. You cannot correct your, and that's why I started. If your personal environment is corrected, the family is corrected, the society is corrected, and the nation at large is corrected. Are you getting now? So my advice to viewers around the world that are watching us now, my advice to you all is, please, we can make the world a better place by making ourselves a better individual. Let's not be chasing fantasy. Let's face reality. Let's not be chasing. Let's not be making judgment based on infatuation. Let's make judgment based on sound reason. What do you know? For example, now let me just check this in. There are so many girls out there now. You are going out with a guy now that you don't know the source of income, but yet he's buying you iPhone 14 Pro, 1.8 million naira. You don't know the source of his income. It is wrong. For example, now there are so many guys now. I used to tell people when I was in school, a girl comes to your house to sleep, are you not scared? When you get guys, this girl you're hanging out now, you don't know his family background, you don't know his mother. Are you sure it's not patient or something? Are you sure it not even came out from River Niger? Are you getting me? So let's be careful, and above all, let's embrace God, let's love God, and the world will be a better place.
Thank you very much. Thank God. To my viewers out there, still Homeboy by Coco, you know how we do it. Whatever you don't understand, drop on the comment section. You can follow us on YouTube by Coco Media, on Instagram by Coco Media. I'm always there to reply you. Message your number on your WhatsApp screen. I'm always there to reply you. It's still your Homeboy by Coco. This program is proudly sponsored by Brooklyn Events and more. Don't go anywhere. I love you.